Alright, hope everybody's doing well. This is a Vizio M70-C3 television. I want to say it's got to be a 65, at least 65, 70 inch, somewhere around there. I'll have to measure it. But the common problem with this, there's a video I found online on this. Common problem with it is that the power supply ends up having some issues, and the light here, this light right there, doesn't turn on. And so what it is these capacitors right here, this one, all these guys right here. Let me take my hand out of it. So I'm not sure if you can see it, but they're definitely bulging out. The top of the caps should be pretty flat, like this. Now, just because these are flat doesn't mean that they're good. The guy online that I saw, he just says, "Oh, hey, they're bad, just replace them." And he replaces 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He replaces all these. These are all the same, 16 volts at 1,000 microfarad. I'm going to actually pull these out and then go through the testing of, not all of them, but I'll test one or maybe two and just show you with, I have a capacitor checker, and it checks leakage, and it checks ESR, equivalent series resistance, or impedance, kind of the same thing. And basically what happens to them is the inside of the capacitor starts to go bad, or the oil. And so I had some caps up here. Let me grab this one. I'll show you all this, if I can put it on on my desk here. This is, I got so much stuff on, but that's the paste machine that I use, desoldering station and all that. But anyway, here's what's inside the capacitor, and basically it's just some aluminum plates and paper, and then there's an oil that they put in there. And what happens is, with time, the oil starts to dry up, and these notches back here at the back, I don't know if y'all can see that. I'm hoping you can see it. Those notches in the back, they're there for a reason, in case this guy does short out. You want to, it's almost like a pressure, I'm assuming it's a pressure release way of letting this kind of go out. And I know you can see that it is scored all the way through. And so that's what happens to these guys, is the heat. Now I did order some new ones from Mosier. They're not a sponsor of any of my videos, but when I was working in the electronic industry back in the day, 1981 till about 87, repairing home and car audio and stuff. I mean, we ordered tons of stuff from them. MCM Electronics, Aura. MCM Electronics no longer in business. I think they're Arrow Electronics now. But anyway, and they make some low ESR capacitors, and that's what you want to put in. So anyway, I'll take these guys out. I'll pull out the capacitor checker. I work, I'm a school teacher. I teach electronics and other robotics too, and in a pre-engineering course for high school. And back in the day when I was first starting, I was teaching computer maintenance and stuff, and they got me all this gear. And so Sencor made an LCR tester, and unfortunately they don't make it anymore, and it's probably one of the best capacitor checkers. I've since bought a different one, but anyway, I'll check them out, and I'll do a video on that. So that's where I'm at. All right, we'll talk to y'all later. All right, so I'm working on the Vizio, and I managed to use my use this paste machine and the solder sucker. Let me just show you the solder sucker there. It has a tip there at the and what it does is it sucks Let me see if I can get another tip that you can kind of see a bigger one. And so this tip is used when you have a lot of etching and you need to put a lot of heat on the board to loosen up the solder and then suck it in. But that's how that system works, and they all come in different sizes. But anyway, so the capacitor here, and you can tell it's kind of bulging right there. Should be totally flat. We kind of zoom in. Yeah, it's bulging. I'm gonna take out the machine here in just a bit, and we'll test these, and I'll do a video while I'm testing them. So, and those are all coming out from this section right here. So, right there. So I'm going to replace all these and these over here, and I'm replacing that one, this one, this one, this one. Now, I don't know how old the TV is, but, should I test these? Probably. Although I did repair, oh God, several months ago I repaired a monitor which had a similar power supply like this. It's just a little bit smaller. And there were some capacitors like this. And, we call it shotgunning when I was working in it. And they were still good, but I went ahead and just replaced it. That way it didn't have any issues. Here's another little capacitor. Here's another one right there. There's another one right there. There's another one right there. Those are all electrolytics. Anyway, I'll let me see about getting the machine out, and we can test these real quick. All right, be back. Okay, so here's the Sencor LC102 capacitor inductor analyzer. So I'm gonna enter. These are aluminum lytics, and these are 16 volts. 16 volts, and they have. I think it's 1,000 microfarads. Yeah, 1,000 microfarads. And they're 20 plus and 20 minus. Okie dokie. Let me connect this. They do have a positive and they do have a negative. The negative is, I'm hoping y'all can see that. That's a negative right there. Okay. Put the negative on there. Then all you do on this is check the capacitance value. You just press this. Error 7. So error 7, let's check that out. Error 7 is going to tell us here, component out of test range. So that thing's bad. All right, let's put the next one. Next one on. They're all going to test bad. Okay, here we go. All right, that is 16 microfarads. It's supposed to be 1,000 microfarads. Then we can check the ESR. Bad. It's got 50 ohms. Typically, ESR, you want it to be, God, I don't know, probably less than 5 ohms. I try to get capacitors, when I test them, less than 2 ohms. If they're less than 1 ohm, even better. So anyway, so that's how you test it. And those other ones that are on there that look good, even those you want to test them because they could look good outside, physically they could look good without having any type of bulge or whatever. But when you test them, they'll test bad. So to be totally accurate and safe as far as testing capacitors, you have to have something like this. There are some multimeters that come with where they'll test capacitance for you, but the ESR is what you really want to check. And you know, I'm not, most of the meters I have that have capacitance checking ranges on there do not check for ESR. All they check is capacitance, and you know, they're not all that accurate. But so anyway, I've already ordered the capacitors. As soon as they come in, I'll put them in, and hopefully that TV will work. All right, we'll see y'all later.